Hello, this is Jill from Paper Daisy Crafting, UK Stampin' Up demonstrator, independent Stampin' Up demonstrator I should say. And I'm here today to show you a project made with this lovely stamp set. I haven't got the original card I made, which usually is what I show you at the beginning of the video, because I sent it to my daughter before I actually got around to making the video. It was the wedding card that I made on what would have been her wedding day to the lovely Louie. I made her a card and sent it, and then realised I hadn't done the video. So I thought I'd come on and show you how I made the card, but without the card to show you. So if you pop to my blog, there'll be a link below. I will link on my blog to the card that I made them, which was actually in pumpkin pie and pretty peacock. So it's sort of burnt orange and dark teal colours, which were going to be the colours of their wedding day, and will be the colours of their wedding day if they ever get round to being able to get married properly. And having the celebration that they want rather than just a few people. But anyway, I thought I'd show you today. What I did on their card was, because they weren't getting married, I made a play on the phrase "to the newlyweds," and I put "to the nearly weds." And again, you can see that on the blog. But actually, today I'm going to make this one because this is going to be going to some friends who did actually get married. They had a very small ceremony and a very small meal with just 6 people afterwards on Saturday. So this is going to be going to them. So "to the newlyweds" is fine for them. But like I said, on Jessie's card, I put "to the nearly weds" and used the colours that they were going to have in their wedding, for their wedding. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to layer this message up. Now I have printed this layer, this on computer, because I wanted it to be personalised. So I have printed it on computer. This is called Priscilla Script. Is it Priscilla Script? I think it's Priscilla Script. Priscilla something. And then this is Copperplate Gothic Light. These ones, if you wanted to do it. I think this was size 33 points and this was 13 points. I did look that up. So what I'm going to do first of all is lay that where how big I want the borders to be. Now what you could do, of course, is measure this, and this is what I tell my beginners to do. So that's about 8, so therefore measuring it 8.5 would work. And then this way it is 6.5, so measuring it to 7 would work. But what I sometimes do is I just lay mine on the cardstock and mark where I think the cut should go. It's a bit quicker than measuring and usually gets me fine results, but either way will work. What you want is an even border all the way round, whatever it is you're matting. Or if it's not going to be even, you need to make sure you've got the exact measurements that you want, that it's not just random. Right, so there's my piece of cardstock. So I'm just going to use some Tombow, if I can get rid of this bit of card, to layer up that onto there. So let's see, is that going to be okay? Did that work? Yep, that's okay, I think. Can you see that? Slightly deeper than it is long, so I might trim a little bit off once I've glued it. So I guess I'm just a lazy crafter, and also sometimes if things aren't exact, they're not exactly 8 centimetres, for example, it's a lot of faffing around to work out. So my way, doing it this way, works nearly all the time, but obviously measuring will work as well. I know for some of my followers it's a bit tricky because I tend to work in centimetres, in metric, and a lot of my US followers, for example, work in inches still. So I'm just going to trim that bit off. There we are, perfect. Right, so we are going to be working. So this is soft sea foam, and the printing was onto Whisper White, and we're going to be working with the soft sea foam card blank and Whisper White panel on there. I'm going to do the stamping first, just in case I mess it up. And what I'm going to do is I am going to mark where I want my panel to be. Just going to do some light pencil marks around this, so that when I'm stamping, I know where I can be stamping. and this will just rub out. If it's showing afterwards, this will just rub out. Right, so that's my that's where I can stamp. Now the stamp set is this one, as I said, so we need to mount some of these stamps. We're going to use this very big one. And I've got to do this by memory because of course I haven't got the card to refer to. Might not end up exactly the same as the one I did for Jessie, but I don't think that will matter. And then the little rose as well. And then we need 2 leaves. We need the 3 leaves and the 2 leaves. And then we need 2 middles as well. So lots of other stamps in this set that you could use. Really beautiful set. Doesn't take much to make, just stamp beautiful images with it. So do take a look at it if you haven't before. Right, okay. So what we are going to do is we're going to start with Petal Pink. And we are going to stamp some roses. Right, I'm just going to get a piece of scrap paper to stamp on, because if it goes over the edge, I don't want to ruin my grid paper. I've got a lot of videos to do today. I don't want to be changing my grid paper every 2 minutes. Right, so some Petal Pink, and I'm going to position this one so I can see which bit is going to show, because I've got those markings on there. Lovely. Right, so I'm going to do another one down here. Like I say, this might not be exactly the same stamping as I did on Jessie's because I haven't got the card here to refer to, but I'm doing my best. Right, so that's that with that one, and then I'm going to come in with the single rose, and I'm going to do one there, one a bit further in, I think, and then over here do one up there and one down there. There we go. Right, okay, so with the message on it, that's what we're going to see. Okay, and then I'm going to come in with my soft sea foam and some leaves. When I did it in teal, I did some Stampin' Off, but actually the soft sea foam is so light that I think if I stamp off, you're hardly going to see it at all, so I'm going to use full strength. So this is the 3-leaved leaf. I'm going to put one up there, one down here, and then another one, fill in that gap there, and one to fill in this gap here, one here. Don't worry about a little bit of overlap, and another one there. Oh, isn't that pretty? It's so pretty, this stamp set. It really is absolutely lovely. And then we're going to take the 2 leaves and we're just going to do a couple of these in between our roses, like so. Of course, if you want to do more stamping, you can fill it up a bit more if you want to. I actually quite like that effect. I think that's quite nice. So I'm going to leave it like that. The last thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to stamp some middles of my flowers. There are 2 middles. So this is for the larger rose and this is for the smaller rose. Don't know whether there's another one actually. Is there another centre? No, that one's for both of them. Okay. Right, okay. No, it must be. Okay, so I'm using Calypso Coral, so this will just be a slightly brighter than the Petal Pink. So it will just bring a little bit more colour to it. If you think that's too bright, then you could come in with a contrasting colour. You could try yellow. That's enough of that. And then we just need this little one. So now this one kind of needs to try and go round the right way, like so. So quick and easy to make these fabulous images. It is a bit bright, this. It might have been better to stamp it off, actually. But hey-ho, we've done it now. Might have been a better effect if that had been stamped off, although a little pop of colour sometimes is quite helpful. Right, and that's all our stamping. So now we're taking, this card blank is 145 millimetres by 145, 14.5 centimetres, and this piece of cardstock was 13.5 centimetres square. So we're going to layer that on there. So very, very easy to do, this card, and absolutely gorgeous. They're lovely images for weddings, actually, these sort of watercolour effect flowers. Absolutely beautiful. And it's got some lovely sentiments in this set as well, with some really nice fonts. Not that I'm using them today, but they have, oh dear, I've smudged a little bit there. I obviously had some ink on my finger. Luckily, that will be hidden under our sentiment. Okay, and so then the sentiment is going to glue there. Now I'm just going to come and lightly erase my pencil line where it might show. So just be a bit careful around the Calypso coral. I think the soft free foam and petal pink are well dried, but I'm doing this quite soon after stamping, so if you're doing yours like this, just maybe give it a little longer to dry before you try rubbing out, but that's fine. Don't know where that smudge came from, can't see any on my fingers. They're pretty inky, but not with petal pink. Right, and that's going to go in the middle there. Oops, just wetted my sponge because the glue was drying up a bit, and that means it just sucks up a little bit of water to start with. There we go. There we go. Good old Tombow. Of course, you can use any other adhesive here. It doesn't have to be Tombow. You could use Seal, our tape adhesive, tape runner, or you could use tear and tape. Doesn't really matter. Right, and just make sure you've got that where you want it before you glue it down. And when you look at this on the blog, you'll see how different it is. My daughter's was Pretty Peacock, so quite a deep colour around here, and then orange flowers. Quite striking colour scheme, but this one I thought I'd do a bit more pastel-y. Right, okay, I think I'm going to actually do the panel inside as well, actually, while I'm here. So let me grab a piece of Whisper White cardstock. Oh, doesn't want to come. There we go. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut a panel 13.5 by 13.5. So this will make this card even more special by adding some stamping inside. And then I was going to stamp on the envelope. I'll show you that as well. So 13.5 by 13.5. There we go. And I'm just going to, I think I'm going to do one of the big images down the bottom here and a smaller one at the top there. So we need petal pink again, and this will go over the edges. So this will go over the edge, so I definitely need, there we go, and then, oh no, need that, don't put it away, Jill. Do one rose image at the top there, like so, and then just a bit of greenery around those. Use the two leafed one, a little bit of greenery there, and then a couple of bits here, one there and one there. There we go. That's going to go inside our card. Should we do the middles as well? Very, very vivid and bright, this Calypso coral. So whether you want to go with that or not, what I might try here is see what happens if I stamp it off. Although it then won't match exactly with the inside, but let's just experiment. So let's stamp that off. Oh, that's better. That would have worked a lot better. Shame I didn't think about that before. That's sort of a coordinating colour, but not too in your face. Very nice. Yeah, I like that a lot. Next time I will do that. Right, and then lastly, so we'll stick that in a sec, but lastly we're just going to do the same thing on the envelope. So exactly the same as we've done there. So taking the large stamp and the petal pink. Of course, if you're really organised, you could do all the petal pink and stop yourself having to keep opening and shutting all these cases. I'm going to do that down there. And actually, I might do with the same one at the top here. Don't think I did one at the top on Jessie's. I just did one at the bottom of the envelope. There we go. Should we push the boat out and do the panel on the back as well, just to make it even more special? It's up to you. It's your card, so do what you feel. There we go. Just a little bit there. And then come back in with the green and do a few leaves. You might notice this isn't stamping quite as well. This is because this envelope is not a Stampin' Up envelope. We don't do envelopes in this size. That's the wrong colour. Well, let's do the middles first, once I've got that out. We don't do envelopes in this. Our white envelopes are actually beautiful. They're lovely to use because they're to stamp on, because they're so smooth. This is not quite as good. There we go, and just a little bit over there. There we go. There we go. And then just some green leaves on there, and then we're done. This would make a beautiful. Now, you could also make gift packaging to match if you were doing this for a wedding. You could make, if you're sending a gift or even sending money, you could make a money wallet to match. It'd be lovely to have all this coordinating. Really special. And so quick and easy to do, but looks so effective. And so much nicer than buying a shop bought card, I think. I would really appreciate someone doing this for me. There we go. And there we go. Right, so we are done. All we've got to do is to stick our panel inside our card. And that is one wedding card. I wonder how long that took. It can't have taken much more than 20 minutes from start to finish. So 20 minutes to make a beautiful wedding card that will be much nicer than any you could buy in the shops and much more personal. You could tailor it to the colours of the wedding, which is what I did for my daughter, of course. So if you know that the bride is going to be carrying, I don't know, orange and yellow flowers or pink and blue or something, you could you can gauge it to that. There we are. Beautiful card, nice inside, and a beautiful envelope for it to be popped in as well. So hope you've enjoyed that project today and that you'll join me again for another one soon. This was an entry into a blog hop over a week ago now, so I'll link to that blog post if you want to see that as well, in the blog post below. But anyway, that's it from me today. If you'd like to buy anything, link to my shop is below. You can link to my blog. You can subscribe to my blog by email so you get all my posts. You can subscribe to my email channel and make sure you get a notification for all my YouTube videos. You can also sign up for my newsletter if you want to hear all the offers and things I've got on at the minute. And now I'm going to stop and let you go. So goodbye from me, and I'll see you again soon.